So I have a story for you, and this is a story that I'm going to kind of use a timeline, and I use also this analogy of my life being like a warehouse, and in this always expanding warehouse, I have little boxes, and kind of like spring cleaning. It is time to do some of that spring cleaning, and when I care about something, I'm focused and driven, but sometimes I have the tendency to procrastinate. So that warehouse, the life, has a magical way to say, time to do it now, and stop procrastinating. So this story is about 10 years old, and it was one of those magical moments where I go into my warehouse and I find multiple boxes opened. And so this box has my business, that suddenly I have debt, and a lot of stuff was going on, and suddenly I didn't have that energy. My creative side was kind of just not flowing. It was not making me happy. And so for me, dance is it's not a hobby. It's not what I do as a job. For me, dance is who I am. So the fact that suddenly I was not feeling joyful doing my thing was just not good. So I have this box going on. It's open, and I have to reflect on what to do and try to be a grown-up, thinking there are bills that are piling, and so that. And on the other side, because I'm always doing monkey business and jumping and doing all kinds of crazy things. I already had a knee surgery back in '91, so I'm kind of like the Terminator. And so surprise, after overdoing and jumping and doing all kinds of monkey businesses, I messed up my knee yet again. And I go to the doctor, and he tells me that I need surgery again in the same knee, which was okay, but I didn't have insurance, and bills were piling. So then we have this other box of the body is not happy, the body needs help, and the whole holistic concept of the body and the mind is my thing. So box number one, business going on, debt. Box number two, knee issues. Another box with no insurance. And so I need to have this surgery by yesterday, because the doctor said, you already had this thing going, and if you don't take care of it, basically you're going down. So not fun, because in addition, at the time, I had a show going on at Sanchez, what used to be Messe. And so I have a contract, and I'm very into, I have to fulfill my commitments and all that. So show going on, no insurance, all those boxes are opened. I need this surgery, debt is growing, I'm not happy, and life was happening. So the warehouse was a mess. Spring cleaning needed to happen, and I needed to make a decision quickly. And as a dancer, I'm used to experimenting and exploring. And out of those explorations, there are things that work out. There are things that turn into something fun, something good. But in general, some of those explorations lead to failure. So I thought, I'm used to this, it's not a big deal, moving on. But I think that magical moment and what happened is suddenly I found myself in a different country with no support network, trying to understand paperwork, of course in a different language that was not my own. And so yeah, the boxes were opened, and my warehouse was dusty and messy, and I needed to figure something out super quick. So it was one of those reflection moments, and where I started to question, of course, where do I go, who I am, can I continue dancing or not? So anyway, magically, I did have the surgery, and so things were kind of going in the right direction. But my actually amazing doctor decided to, as he was digging in, he was going to replace or fix my meniscus in addition to the ligaments. So translation, good news, I'm fixed, but now my recovery time extended from 4 weeks to 3 months. And so he said, you just take it easy, lay down, rest, be off your feet. Right. If I don't dance, if I don't teach, if I don't move, if I don't perform, this box with my debt will continue to grow. In fact, it's growing. This whole concept about, insurance and with a pre-existing condition. Something happened to my mic. Can you hear me? Yeah? Okay. I'll just speak up louder. And so this whole thing about money, and I'm such an Aquarian airhead that being grounded is a little difficult for me. Can you tell? So in addition to all these wonderful things, and the fact that my doctor is telling me that I needed to rest and stay off my feet a little extra, that meant for me to find replacements for my show, someone to teach for me, and I had one positive thing going for me at the time, that I had a new relationship. And so the last box from the warehouse opened, and this box turned out that that amazing lover decided to say goodbye and basically just left. So I have debt, surgery, I'm in a wheelchair. Obviously, the world is falling on my shoulders. And it was a moment where I thought, my students come to me to be happy. My students come to me to find joy. I'm suddenly looking at myself in the mirror, thinking, where is the joy? What is my foundation? And trying to figure out my future in a way that is really unknown. I had a brace that went all the way to here from my ankle, and I wasn't sure if I was going to continue jumping, running. I'm in a wheelchair and teaching salsa dancing out of my wheelchair. And so I think the moment where I actually did fail myself is where I didn't feel that I was honest anymore by teaching classes and telling everybody to be positive and being, looking always for another answer, for another door to open. And through the period of my recovery, the physical recovery, my emotions, my psychic just went down to a degree that in daily basis, every minute of my days was invested on how to end my life. And I just didn't want to be around anymore. I didn't think it was worth it, because for me, dance is my everything. And if I couldn't dance, I think this is it. The day that I no longer can dance is the day that I think I'm done. And so I processed that. And it was a conversation when I was fully convinced. And that was it. And I figured, what's left? My focus was basically, how do I end this?